Good evening, everyone. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome you all to our What Buddha Said class. So let's say sadhu 3 times to start our class. Make yourself comfortable, straighten your body, and keep your palms together. And pay attention to the feelings in your fingers. Pay attention to your thumbs, index fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, and pinky fingers. Now gently close your eyes. Again, pay attention to the feelings in your fingers. Now say sadhu 3 times along with me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Slowly put your hands down and open your eyes. Okay, dear friends, first we are going to practice our 5-minute meditation. We are not going to do any particular thing. We will just try to observe our thoughts for 5 minutes. So it will help you to calm down your mind. Now make yourself comfortable. Keep your hands in a comfortable position. And gently close your eyes. And bring your attention to your mind. Simply notice what arises in your mind. Let thoughts come, let them go. Don't take any thought as me or mine. Let them come, let them go. Now, bring your focus to your body. Feel the sensations in your body. And gently open your eyes. Keep your palms together. Pay attention to the feelings in your fingers and say sadhu with me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Slowly put your hands down. Dear friends, we will embark on a journey of virtue, the foundation of freedom. So we are going to learn about 5 precepts. So first, let's pay homage to the Supreme Buddha. You can join me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May my homage to my teacher, Pinwat Lokuswamin Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends, the ultimate goal in Buddhism is freedom. Freedom from all sufferings. So that path toward the enlightenment consists with 3 things. You can call it 3 building blocks. Sila, virtue, samadhi, concentration, and panya, wisdom. So sila is the foundation. Without developing sila or virtue, we cannot calm down our mind in a way that helps to develop our concentration. And also Sila helps us to mature our mind, and it makes the environment in our mind to develop our concentration. Then based on concentration, we can develop wisdom. That wisdom helps us to remove the ignorance and remove all the defilements in our mind. Then it helps us to liberate from all sufferings in our life. Now suppose someone practice Noble Eightfold Path or path toward the enlightenment. Then basically that person becomes a good person. And when everyone practice that path, then everyone become good people. Then when those people are in a community, in this society, this community, this world becomes a better place. Then we can have a harmony. We can live in harmony with each other. And also at the same time, we have the mental clarity, we have a peaceful mind. And also, those people ensure the safety of everyone. So it means when someone develops the path to the enlightenment, gradually they contribute to make this world a better place. Sila, virtue. For a layperson, Sila means basically 5 precepts. So those 5 precepts or Panchasila, 5 precepts, are not just commandments. They are training guidance for lay people to develop their path toward the enlightenment. And Buddha, in one of the suttas, Buddha considered those 5 precepts as the 5 great gifts or the great gift. Why? When someone live according to these 5 precepts, they creates an environment of trust and effectively give the gift of safety to this world. So then they always gives gifts to this world. So that's why Buddha called them the great gift. The 5 great gifts, 5 universal precepts. So first great gift, abandoning the taking of life, not killing living beings. Now today, we do everything to save our lives. Now think, in this world, everyone observe this precept, everyone follow this precept. Then we don't need to do anything to protect ourselves from other people. Why? There is no harm to our lives from other people. But now, if you watch news, every day, you hear some killings. And also there are places that we don't want to go at any given time. Why? Because we know those places are not safe. And I flew from US to Canada. Then, we have to go through so many security layers. Why is that? And people, they scan for the explosives. Even monks, they scan even monks for the explosives. Why? Because there are some people in this world who destroy lives of other people. So because of that, this world is not safe. But suppose everyone stop killing living beings, then this world is very safe to everyone to live. But we cannot expect it from other people. So we need to become that person who make this world a safe place. So when we stop killing living, when we don't kill living beings, and then we give it as a gift to this world. And at the same time, we strengthen our compassion. Gift number 2, abandoning, taking what is not given. So dear friends, when you leave, do you leave without closing the doors of your house? No. Not only that, you might have put some security cameras, and you don't open the door when someone knock on your door without making sure that person that it is safe to open your doors. So, and always we struggle to save things that we have. Why is that? Because we know there are people out there who do the stealing. But what if no one do the stealing? Then we don't need to lock our doors, and we don't need to take extra precautions to protect what we have. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So we know people out there who do the stealing. That's why we have to protect what we have. But we can give that protection to the other people when we don't do the stealing. And then we become a very honest person. Why? People know, okay, they can give anything to us because they know we don't steal those things. Because sometimes like some people, they give things to other people to save them, and with the intention of getting those things after some time. Maybe it could be some money or maybe a vehicle. But when they want to get that, they cannot get that because they say, no. So these things are mine. So now we are in a world like that. So but we want to change this world. How can we do that? By observing this precept. We can, by observing this precept, then we contribute to make this world a better place. And then the third great gift, abandoning sexual misconduct. So it literally means not doing cheating and not doing inappropriate sexual things. So in this world, so many chaos arises because people don't keep this precept. They go beyond the ethical boundaries. And not only that, and sometimes people, they have bad relationships, and so sometimes people, they love each other, they get married, then after that they don't have the peace that they expect. Why? Because they don't trust each other. But what if they know, oh, my husband, my wife, or my boyfriend, my girlfriend, they keep this precept. They don't do sexual misconduct. They observe, they follow this precept. Then there is no any stress in their mind. They can live peacefully, and it is good to have healthy relationships. And also in that way, that we develop the respect toward other people, respect toward relationships of other people, respect toward other families, and we also develop the respect toward the ethics of the society. And we gradually, when people observe this precept, when people keep this precept, then they contribute to this world, to make this world a better place. And the next one, the fourth gift is abandoning false speech. So when someone observes this precept, they give the gift of truth and reality to this world. You know, these days it's not easy to work with people. It's not easy because we cannot trust people. And sometimes, like, we want to fix things and then we hire someone. They come and then they say, oh, this will cost $10,000. I can do that for $8,000. But sometimes it turns out to be you just need $10 to fix that problem. Why people tell lies? They lie to each other. So it's not easy to trust people. And sometimes when you have to buy a new home, so you go to realtors. Okay? And we cannot trust them most of the time. Not everyone. Okay? Some realtors, because I think you have that experience, so that's why I share that. So because they say one thing to us and they say another thing to the other side. So it's not easy to trust each other. So now we can put ourselves in that place and try to understand, okay, so when people tell lies to us, it's not easy to live with them. So then, but we cannot change other people. We need to understand that then we should not do that. Then we should try to speak truth always. We should not tell lies. And then it helps us to strengthen our trustworthiness. And then the fifth great gift, abandoning intoxicants. When someone is drunk, they're out of their mind. Then they are capable of doing any bad thing. And suppose like when someone is addicted to the drug, when someone is alcoholic, then we cannot trust that person. And also we don't know such person what would do the next moment. So then we need to understand. But if we abstain from taking intoxicant, then it's good for me and also it's good for others as well. And let me put another one thing for the fourth great gift. So Buddha said, if someone tell lies, so that person is capable of doing any bad deed. Why? They do anything, then they say, no, I didn't do that. So Buddha says in one of the suttas, people who tell lies are capable of doing any bad thing in this world. So But when someone keep these precepts, so they give these 5 great gifts to this world. And the main benefit that we get by keeping our precept is freedom from remorse. We know how we feel after we do some bad things. Even if it brings some happiness to our lives, still we have some guilty feeling. And maybe still we think, oh, I shouldn't have done that on that day. Still we have some regrets over the things that we did in the past. But when someone keep precepts, they abandon doing bad things, then it helps them to get rid of remorse. Then remorse, then that uh, freedom from remorse leads to the joy in mind. So this is a milestone on our path toward the full enlightenment. Why? Because when we have the joy in our mind, very easily we can concentrate our mind. Why Sila is mandatory for progress? The first thing, when someone keeps precepts, as I mentioned earlier, that person becomes a good person. Now, you can take a moment and think about that. Suppose there is someone who doesn't kill living beings, who doesn't do the stealing, and doesn't engage in sexual misconduct, doesn't tell lies, and doesn't take any intoxicants. What do you think about that person? That person, you cannot say that person is a bad person. That you have to accept that person is a good person. So then, when everyone become like that, then this world becomes a better place. And also, when someone keep their precept, when someone develop their virtue, then they don't engage with things that improve their stress, and also that brings anxiety to their lives. It's a very simple thing. Things someone do the stealing, then always that person lives with some stress, some anxiety. And think about someone do the sexual misconduct. So that person always lives with some uh, fear and some stress in their mind. So, but when someone keep precept, when someone follow this precept, they reduce their stress, they reduce their anxiety, and moreover, they are able to free from remorse. They can abandon regrets in their mind. So the Pali word for that is avippatisara. Then it brings joy to our mind. Then joy open our path to develop our concentration. And also that person gradually earn the trust of other people. Then their social status grows. When other people know, oh, this person is a good person, then they like to associate that person. Then that person become a noble friend. And together they can do a lot of good karma. And together they can develop their path toward the enlightenment. Another thing the virtuous person get is financial security. Why? Okay, let's take example of someone who breaks the fifth precept. Suppose someone is addicted to drugs or some intoxicant, then they spend their money, they waste their money for alcohol, for the drugs. So once Buddha said, it's a drain of wealth. But when someone stop doing that, then they close that drain. And also when people observe precept, then gradually it helps them to weaken their greed, hatred, and delusion. So it helps them to abandon negative thoughts in their minds. So then gradually they can develop their worldly life, and gradually they can develop their spiritual life as well. Dear friends, we are going to dedicate our upcoming 5 months to learn about 5 precepts. We will dedicate each month to talk about a certain precept. Then you can have a good knowledge about those 5 precepts, and gradually you can apply these teachings to your life. Dear friend, virtue or sila is the foundation of all that is good. Virtue is the beginning, and it's like the mother, father for all the good things in this world. So next class on February 16th, we will discuss about the first precept. Okay, now it's time for you to ask your questions.
But can I ask a question about the killing one?
Of course.
Ants. I have a lot of ants in the summertime. And then the problem is that I just, at first, I just bear with it, but then it gets onto my cat food. It gets onto my whole kitchen. It's like, it stings me even. So, and last year, I just felt so, it was so unbearable that I finally just sprayed all of them to death. But then I felt so remorseful. So what should I do in this case if there are so many ants?
Okay, so yeah, that's a practical issue. So in Sri Lanka, we also have a lot of ants and also mosquitoes. So the last time that I killed a mosquito when I was in eighth grade. But at that time I wasn't following Buddhism because I didn't know about these teachings. But I thought I should not kill mosquitoes. So it helped me to develop some compassion toward the animals. So it doesn't mean that mosquitoes didn't bite me after that. Mosquitoes bit me, but I didn't kill them. So yes, we know sometimes it's not easy to live with those bugs, but what we need to understand, like killing them is not a good thing. So by doing that, we break a precept. So normally we try to uh, find some methods to make them go, some natural methods to make them go. And also the best thing we can do, like try to, before summer starts, like you can apply some methods that you can avoid them. So that's the best thing. So avoiding those things. And also sometimes when we have some issues with bugs, we also chant some discourses. So one is we chant is Kanda Paritta. Kanda Paritta. I will share that Paritta on our WhatsApp group. Kanda Paritta. It is something that we do to protect ourselves from snakes and bugs and all the things. So by doing such things, we can avoid those ants and bugs. The thing is, like, yes, it's not easy. They give so many problems to us. But in those moments, if we can keep ourselves from killing those bugs, those ants, then actually we strengthen our compassion. Because, and also it helps us to improve our virtue, because that is the moment that we need to observe that precept, to keep that precept. Because when we don't have any issues, there's no point. We don't need to do anything to keep that precept. But when we are when we are exposed to such a moment, so that is the moment we need to follow that precept. Then it helps us to strengthen our mind, because we learn to endure it. We learn to endure that, because there are some defilements we need to abandon by enduring. And also it at the same time it helps us to strengthen our love and compassion toward other beings.
Bante, I have a
Yes.
problem with bugs. It's huge. I grew up with three brothers and many boy cousins. And whenever they don't want me to play with them, back home we had these big cockroaches. They were huge. They were like the flying ones. They
Mm-hmm.
would take paper and they would scrunch it up. And to get rid of me, they would take the paper and put it in my shirt. And then I would run away, right? I would scream. So I grew up with fear of bugs. So if I see a bug in my house, my instinct is to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
I did that even though I know it's wrong, and I've been practicing this path for the last 3 years. So there was like there's these winter little crawly bugs. They're not harmful, but I was in my bathroom and I saw one in my bathtub. So instantly I turned the water on and flushed it down the drain. But he came back up the next day. Anyways, long story short, I just grew up with this fear of bugs, and it's like an instinct, like I just not mosquitoes, like not mosquito, but things like bugs in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I see a bug in the house, or if I go to a hotel and I'm
Yeah.
aware, like I see a bug, it scares me.
Mm-hmm.
I just get not upset, but I get scared, and instantly I
Mm-hmm.
kill it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my story I want to share. But
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying hard really to not do that anymore. But my
Mm-hmm.
brothers, they really instilled that fear in
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
to not play with them. And they were much older, and they try to
Mm-hmm.
like get rid of me. And I just still, even like at work or anywhere I see a bug, it's instantly I jump. And I just have this fear and I can't get rid of it. I know
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't
I
solve
can.
my problem, but it's
Yeah.
just horrible.
Yeah, I can understand, First of all, thank you so much for being honest and sharing your story. So, because that is the most important thing. So, one of the most important qualities that we need to develop in our life to follow the path toward the enlightenment is the honesty. So, we need to be honest. Like, even if we have done some wrongdoings, or even if we have broke some precepts in the past, so we need to be honest with that. So yeah, so I appreciate that, Tina, like being honest and sharing that story. So yeah, the thing is, this life is so unfair, okay? Because when we were kids, like we were exposed to so many things, and those things has influenced us in a very bad way. And what to do? This is the life, okay? But the good thing is, like, we can change it. We can change it uh, by practicing teachings of the Buddha. So gradually, because even in the Buddha's time, there were people. So they had a very uh, they had so many issues in their mind. Their mind was not strong. So, but gradually they were able to develop their mind to the highest level. So we can do that. So then we will be able to develop our mind to a level, even if someone come and cut our body into pieces, that we will not get angry. So we will able to develop our mind to such a higher level. So, but first of all, the most important thing is we need to accept killing any living being. It could be a bug or ant, mosquito, small, tiny one or a big one. Killing any kind of living being is not a good thing. It is a bad karma. That is the most important thing. We need to accept that. So, because when we accept that, it helps us to develop our right view. And gradually, we need to develop our mindfulness and our love and compassion. Okay? Then gradually, we can develop our mind. So once Buddha said, like, put yourself into the shoes of other beings. Okay? Now think, okay, they don't want you to kill them. Okay? So what about us? Like in this world, sometimes people think, oh, we don't need these people. Okay? We need to kill these people. Okay? So there are people like that. Okay? So, but then in our point of view, we don't want to be killed. So people think, okay, it's good like if we kill all people in this world. So, but they think, okay, they want to live. So we need to put ourselves into the shoes of other animals, other beings. Then we need to understand, I don't want to be killed. Like me, other beings, they don't want to be killed. So then it helps us to develop our love and compassion. Then we gradually will be able to endure things, and also it will help us to strengthen our love and compassion.
Hi, Bente. This is Irene, and she has some sharing about like the killing as well because that's a common issue
Yeah.
in our household as well because we have those plants that attract a lot of bugs, and flowers that attract a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
Naughty.
Yes,
So
and with my experiments for 10 years from I learned Buddhism, I practiced the Buddhism teaching in life with the birds and the tiny one, everything small beings around our house, and even that I so scared they're a lot and so bothering our life, but I practice by chanting like you said, and if I don't have a time, I use a small device like use USB device with the chanting
music.
music
Mhm.
every time, and I invite all beings around my house to listen to it. And if I don't mean to kill them, but if in case I kill them, but not in purpose,
Mhm.
I pray in for the forgiveness and praying for them
Mhm.
to
Be reborn
yeah,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
kind
in a
like
good
that. And
place.
I talk even that I don't know that they around me, but I know exactly they around, but I don't see them, but I
Mhm.
believe they can hear my words, my sentence, my praying, and
Mhm.
then it reduce. It honestly it
Oh.
reduce
Reduce the amount of bugs in the
yeah,
house.
mosquito. And
Okay.
if I need to spray some like chemical spray
Mm.
to cover the plant, to protect the plant or to clean house, I often tell them that I will do it in a couple hours later, or one day or tomorrow, exactly time, and I invite them to move
Leave.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, and exactly, I don't see any birds or the
Mhm.
place that I used to see them before. That's really magical.
Oh
Like
yeah,
she
excellent.
announces beforehand, today at this time I will spray, so please leave by this time.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and actually I don't
Yeah,
see any
excellent, excellent.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even in the Sri Lanka, like I know, I mean, I don't know if they do that now, but in the past, like some farmers, they also did things like that. So they also use those chantings, and also before they start farming, that they asked all the bugs to leave, things like that. And also they did these chantings. And also we do another thing. We make blessing water, and then we spray. Like blessing water means like while we chanting, like uh, we put some water into a glass or a bottle. Then while we chant, like we touch it, and then we make it a blessing water. Then we spread it out. So so those are things that we practice in our culture, and yes, those things give results. Yeah, we can still practice those things.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a question, but we can save it for next class if it's too long to answer. It's just regarding like, abstain from killing, but like how about like plants, mushroom? Plant is like vegetables and mushroom is their own kingdom. So are they having like a different consciousness than animals? Or
Mhm.
yeah.
Um, Actually, in Buddhism, we don't consider, uh, still for a bhikkhu, I have a precept that I cannot cut trees. So because I'm a high ordained monk, so we have a precept that I cannot cut trees or flowers or anything. But in Buddhism, we don't consider uh, those trees, grass, mushrooms are living creatures, are living beings. Because of that, if someone cut a tree, I mean, for lay people, there is no precept like that. So people can cut trees, but we don't consider those trees or mushrooms as living beings. Some they don't have a consciousness in a level that we have.
Yes, no, Bante, Bante. Just because we were talking about how using the chanting water, Bante, and Bante also shared about the chanting water that's been used in Sri Lanka for the farmer, Bante. Actually, that's for friends who have these problems. They may want to try because I myself tried it, Bante, with the Kanda Parita when I
Mm-hmm.
was in Singapore. Like one time, they were doves. In Singapore, you have these doves came to your place where you hang your clothes. They, poop there. Sorry to use the language, and it's so messy. So we've been there a few times, always like that. Then one time I gave it a try, Bante, with the Kanda Parita. So what I did was I sat in front of the Buddha statues. I put a bowl of water, Bante, in front of me, and I did the Kanda Parita. And then after a few times I chant, I bring that water. I went to the place where, these doves always come. I sprinkle it, like what Bante said. I sprinkle, and then I also said did what Wayne did. I kind of talked to that, whoever be, basically talking to the dove, say, this is not the proper place for you to be. We want the peace here, and please go somewhere to find your livelihood. But Bante, amazingly, until now, that place is clean. They didn't come back at all.
Okay.
So, I don't know whether it's just coincidence, but we can give it a try with the chanting water.
Excellent,
Sprinkle,
excellent.
yes.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that story. Yeah, it gives results, of course, but you need to get the results. There are a couple of things that you need to fulfill. One is confidence. You need to have the confidence about that, and you at that moment you need to have a pleasant mind. Like your mind is not should not be overcome by any defilement, any negative thought, either anger or any other defilement. You need to have some thoughts of love and compassion, or some any other wholesome thoughts. Uh, then those methods are effective. So then you can get the result. So yes, if you have any issues with bugs, then you can try this. Okay, maybe
Yes,
next.
Bante, it's correct because I shared merit with the dove and I wish them well. I shared loving kindness with them. I remember that,
Yeah.
Bante. That's right.
Okay, thank you for sharing it.
When we see animals that has like passed away on the road, or when we pass by the animals that passed away, what should we do?
Okay, animals passed away. Okay.
Like being killed on the road, or I'm not sure, like accident or whatever.
Mm,
Then do we need to do anything for them?
uh, if those animals have passed away, so then actually you cannot do anything for them. If you feel good, then you can remove their bodies from the road. But the thing is, like, it doesn't do any good for it doesn't it doesn't make any difference. But if you see uh, an animal who is injured, then you might be able to help them. So once we did something like that. So when we were driving, and then we saw a deer, uh, and then I think that deer was knocked by a vehicle. Then we helped. Then we saw. Then we stop our vehicle. Then we help that animal. But I know, like, you cannot do it on a freeway, okay? And you need to take care of yourself, okay? Because it will make other issues, okay? So because the thing is, like, yes, we need to have the love and compassion in our mind, and at the same time, we need to be smart. Okay, we need to have that. We should think wisely. Okay, and because if we try to help someone, then it can make more harm to others as well. So we need to have love and compassion. At the same time, we should think wisely.
So my question is, in tropical countries like India, where I'm actually from, like usually like snakes will come inside the house. So what does one do in that situation? Like, because they can be poisonous, right?
Yeah, the thing is, like, I lived in a monastery. There were so many snakes, okay? So many snakes. And sometimes those snakes come inside of our main building. And I also caught a couple of snakes, and then we uh, threw them away to the forest. And we didn't kill. And but we I think I don't know about now, but at that time, uh, at least once a week we had to catch a snake inside of that building. And so because inside of that building, every day we gathered together to listen to a Dhamma talk, and we meditated, and we always catch snakes, and then we threw them away to the forest. And but throughout that time, even though there was so many snakes, only one time one guy was bitten by a snake. We because so far, I think, I don't know about recently, but I know because I lived there for many years, and also when things like a snake bite happens, we get to know about that. But I know, like, for many years, only one guy was bitten by a snake. So because of the main reason that every day evening we chant that parita, that chant, the one Linda shared with you. So yeah, you can catch the snake, then you can put them away. So that's what you can do, but we should not kill even snakes.
So not even in self-defense, it's prohibited.
The thing is, here is the thing. Okay, I cannot give an answer for that directly because because okay, I mean, it's up to it's up to you. I mean, I don't know, because it's still, the thing is, like, if someone attain the first stage of the enlightenment, if someone is a Sotapanna disciple of the Buddha, they would never ever break a precept even for their lives. Okay? But still we are not in that level. So we are trying to go to that level, because at that level they have developed their mind to the highest level, not the highest level, to very high level. Okay? And they have abandoned the view of self, and they have abandoned a lot of defilements in their minds. So because of that, they don't break even a single precept, even for their lives. But still we are not in that level, but gradually we can develop our mind to that level. Until we attain that level, accidentally we might make some wrongdoings. We might do some wrongdoings, but still we can protect ourselves by developing our mind. We need to develop our mindfulness and our concentration, our wisdom. Then even though we do some bad karma in our lives, they will not give big bad results. Okay? So Buddha gave a simile for that. I think most of you know about that simile. Buddha said, suppose there is a glass of water, then you put a little bit of salt into that glass of water, then water becomes salty. But if you put that same amount of salt into a river, the water in the river doesn't become salty. So why in the river there is a huge volume of water, but in the glass there is a small volume of water? So likewise, there is a person, he hasn't developed his mindfulness, wisdom, and hasn't developed the virtue, and hasn't done many good things. Then they do a bad thing, could be a slight bad thing, but it can give huge bad result. Why? Their mind is not developed. But there is another person, he has developed his mind through meditation practices, and he has developed his wisdom, concentration, and has developed virtue. Then even that person can do that same bad thing, but it doesn't give the same bad result. It will be very minimum. Why? Because that person has developed his mind. So it means if we develop our mind, okay, because we don't know what would happen in the future, like there might be a moment that our life is in a danger. Because of that, we might do some, we might break a precept. We don't know what would happen in the future. We don't need to make any assumptions about that. But what we need to do, like, just develop our mind. We need to develop our mindfulness, our wisdom, we try to keep our precepts. Always we try to do good things, like we need to practice generosity. Then gradually we develop our mind. then in the future, we don't know. We might be able to develop our mind that we would not break a precept even for our lives. We don't know about that. But even if we break a precept, we will be able to recover that because of the power of our mind. So that's why the most important thing is not making any assumptions about the future. Just try to, or not think, imagine any situations. Just try to develop our mind through these teachings. Then we will be able to even manipulate the results of bad karma that we have done in the past or we might do in the future.
Thank you, Bante. I also wanted to share something. I once accidentally killed a squirrel while I was driving, and it still bugs me to this day. Like sometimes it'll just come up in my mind,
Okay.
and it'll cause me, let's say, like you said, remorse. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here is the thing: if you haven't done it intentionally, it doesn't become a bad karma. So because Buddha says intention is the karma. So suppose like you have an intention to kill a squirrel, and then you do something to kill, then it become a bad karma. Okay. But suppose like you walk and then without knowing you step on ants, then yes, you kill ants, but you don't have any intention to kill ants. Then even though ants killed, it doesn't become a bad karma. So intention is the most important thing. Okay. So next time when we meet, we can talk about how someone break that precept and how intention works, and we can talk about all of those things.
Yes, but the last one thing. So in summer, what I do is when I walk on the sidewalk, I'm always like, my head is bent down because I'm looking on the to the sidewalk so that I don't kill any ants. So it becomes like a pressure in my mind that I'm not killing ants while I'm walking because there's so many ants in the summer. Yeah, so it's like a stress, but it's also something good, I know. But it's kind of gives me anxiety that if I'm walking, I shouldn't be, putting my feet where.
No, you don't need to worry about that. You can just walk freely. Okay, so because you don't have any intention to kill any, because if you walk with that intention, oh, with my every step I will kill ants, so then it's not good. But I know you don't have such intention, so intention is the most important thing. So just live freely. So don't think too much about those precepts. Okay. So the most important thing is the intention. So if you don't have any intention, it's okay. Okay? You don't need to worry about that. Okay? Otherwise, we cannot live. We cannot even drink water. Okay? So we cannot even walk. So we cannot do anything in this world. So just always just focus on the intention, because even in the Buddha's time, some monks went to the Buddha and they said, "Oh, Bhante, when I was doing this, this monk was killed. If I made a bad karma." Then Buddha asked, "What was your intention?" So that was Buddha's question. What was your intention? Then those monks said, "Oh, I didn't have any intention to kill that monk." Okay, then it's okay. So you haven't done any wrongdoing. So intention is the most important thing. We need to understand that.
Yes, Bhante. So my intention is probably not stopping or not killing, but it's probably to save. Yeah. So I get the difference. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think Lena has asked a question. Is it possible to meditate without guidance and still reach deep state? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Some people reach deep state, but the thing is, they cannot continue that, because there are things that you need to understand when you go to deep level of samadhi, deep level of concentration, and you should be skillful in those things. Yeah, sometimes people when they meditate, like joy arises in their mind. Sometimes they go to some deep level of concentration, but without a guidance they cannot continue that. They don't know what happened, okay, how I enter into that jhana level, that deep concentration level. So then they don't know how to go back to that level. So yeah, it is possible, but it's not possible to maintain it. But if that person is very smart, then he could understand those things, but it's very rare. It's very rare. Someone asks, how would someone know they enter deep jhana level? Actually, if someone doesn't have the teaching, if someone doesn't know the teachings, they don't know if they have attained a deep jhana level, concentration level. So sometimes some people come to us and they say, oh, Bante, when I was meditating, I felt my body was very light, my mind was very well focused. And it means like they have attained some type of deep concentration level, but still they don't know about that. And some people say, okay, when I was meditating, I felt my body was very light, and I felt kind of radiance all over my body. It feels very it feels very good. So they have attained some level of jhana, some deep concentration level, but still they don't know about that. Okay? So, but that's why we need to learn those teachings. Then when we learn the teachings about what happens in our mind when we meditate, then gradually someone can identify, oh, this is the joy, or this is the tranquility of the body and mind that Buddha spoke. So when someone has those teachings, then they can identify those levels in the meditation practices. I think that's all for today. So we can chant Kanda Paritta. Try to chant along with me. Virupakke me mettang, mettang erapate me, chabya putte me mettang, mettang kanna gotama kehicha, apadake me mettang, mettang dipadake me, චතුප්පදේහි මේ මෙත්තං මෙත්තං බහුප්පදේහි මේ මාමං අපාදකෝ හිංසි මාමං හිංසි දිපාදකෝ මාමං චතුප්පදෝ හිංසි මාමං හිංසි බහුප්පදෝ සබ්බේ සත්තා සබ්බේ පානා සබ්බේ භූතා ච කේවලා Sabbe bhadrani passantu ma kanchi papamagama appamano buddho appamano dhammo appamano sangho pamanavantani siringsapani ahimichika satapadi unnanabi sarbu musika kata me rakka kata me parittha Patikkamantu bhutani sohang namo bhagavato namo sattannang samma sambuddhananti etena saccena suvatti hotu. By this truth may there be well-being. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. You can Now I'm going to chant verses of blessings. Close your eyes and listen to me. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddapachayino Chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. May you have long life and be free from illness. May you attain bliss of happiness. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.